Okay, so today we're talking about what you absolutely must have, what you must need to start a Google Ads agency. All right, stay tuned. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what you need, and make sure you stick around to the end because there will be one key point, the last one we're going to add, that will basically, I think, is extremely important that you should always have, especially if you're starting a Google Ads agency. So if you like other Google Ads training videos and digital marketing training, hit the subscribe button below and the little bell notification. That way you'll be notified when we do launch new videos each and every week. All right, so what do you need to start a Google Ads agency? Not gonna lie to you, not a lot. It's one of the few things that you can truly do from really anywhere in the world, and you just don't need a whole lot to do it. You don't need to rent space, you don't need to rent phones, you don't need to do all of this other stuff that you might have to do. You don't have to have cash registers. You know, it's very simplified nowadays with the internet. So what is the first thing you need? Just for legal purposes, have a business name, have an identity. You don't want to just say, hey, pay Mike Mancini. You want to say, hey, pay my company, Mancini Digital or ppcvideotraining.com, whatever it might be. Now, I'm not sure how it is outside the country, but in the United States, in Minnesota, all you literally have to do is go to the Secretary of State website. I just typed in Minnesota Secretary of State, and you can see right here, register a business. You follow the steps right here, boom, you pay like $120, you have a business. What type of business should you start? Whether it's an LLC, an S-Corp, limited liability partnership, I can't give you that information. That's something you need to ask around. Talk to people you know, talk to an attorney if you know one, get some ideas what the best tax benefit would be for you, and make your decision based on that. The second thing you should have is always have insurance on your business. Whether you have employees or not, just to protect yourself, just to make sure in case you go into somebody else's business and you do something wrong or you get sued and whatever it might be, it's not that expensive. Just get insurance on your business. I've had mine for years. I've never had to use it, but it's always there just for peace of mind. Third thing, and obviously I think the most obvious, is a computer. Whether it's just a small laptop or something a little bit bigger. Mine happens to be a little bit more elaborate. I've got 3 screens. I've got my mic set up. I've got a big desktop computer because I spend a lot of time here, and I've just got multiple things always going at any one time. I do have a bigger, more expensive computer because I do a lot of video. Video takes up a lot of space and a lot of hardware in the computer, so it just tends to be a little bit bigger and a little bit more expensive. But if I'm just running Google Ads, all I need is a decent laptop with a good internet connection. You're not really running any major software. Google Ads is web-based, so you can do it just logging in there, or you can download the Google Ads editor, which is a very small program or app onto your computer and run it that way. Either way, it's very simple to do. The other thing that I would also suggest is if you are running Google Ads, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, I would always suggest it probably 2 monitors. And the reason being is it's really easy to have, maybe you're looking at statistics on one screen and over on the other screen you've got your ads editor or whatever it might be, and you can be making changes there rather than going back and forth all the time. As far as efficiency goes, it is huge. If you want to buy a new monitor, you can get them on Amazon, you can get them at Micro Center. You can get a decent monitor for probably about 60, 70, 80 bucks. I think mine happened to run like $100, brand new. You can find them at pawn shops for pennies. So just a second monitor is great. Even if you do have a laptop, just hook up an external monitor so you do have 2 screens. That seems to help me quite a bit, especially with efficiency and getting things done quicker. The next thing, obviously a decent internet connection. You cannot understate this. I live in a metro area, so I happen to have great internet. However, we do have a lake home, and I sometimes go out there, and the internet is crap. And if I have to spend any significant time out there, I've got to switch it up because I just can't work out there. It's so sporadic. It very seldom ever works for longer than 20 minutes at a time. And it's so slow, I can't do anything. So if you have that problem, you obviously need to figure out your own solutions. but that is key. You are making a ton of changes inside the Google Ads platform that if you have to wait for a screen to load for 20 seconds every time you make a click, it's just not going to be an efficient use of your time. So make sure you have a good quality internet connection. And the last thing, and this is, I think, one of the most important things that people tend to overlook, is a good Google Ads software product. Now, I've tried a ton of different ones. Some of them very, very expensive, some of them on the cheaper side. And what do I mean by Google Ads software? I'm not talking about Google Ads Editor because that's a free software that Google provides. What I am talking about are, there's several ones out there, wordstream.com, Optimizer, let's see, Adalysys, and a thousand more. I tend to stick to Optimizer, and if you are interested in checking it out, I do have a link in the description below. And I'll also make another video talking about walking through why I like that versus some of the other software platforms I've tried. But regardless of what you have, that's really your only expense. After you pay for your business license, obviously you have a monthly expense for your internet. You got to pay for a laptop. But once those are done, this is a monthly expense that is worth it because it can save you tons and tons and tons of time. And that is key. You might be able to knock your week in half. If you've got, 10 clients and you're spending 40 hours a week on those clients, I bet you could knock it down to 20 hours just by employing one particular software. Just to help you figure out the best ways to optimize those campaigns, where problems could be, different suggestions on how you can make those campaigns better, whatever it might be. This is a game changer. So make sure you check some of those out. Once again, there is a link to Optimizer and below. It is an affiliate link. If you do purchase it through our link, we will get a commission. But you're not paying for that. It's a commission provided by the company. But I want to be upfront about that. We happen to pay $500 a month. There are other solutions that are $250 a month, but it is 100% worth it. If your time is worth $50 an hour, if you put in 10 hours and it saves you 5 hours, it's completely worth it. You've paid for it in 5 hours. So just think about it that way. But it is 100% crucial in our business. We use it every single day, and it's one of those things, obviously besides our computer and our internet, that we can't live without. And it's a monthly expense, really our only monthly expense that we absolutely have to have no matter what to run our Google Ads agency. We do have some other expenses that we have that are add-ons, and I'm not going to talk about those right now because they are not essential. There are some extras that we like to have and we can afford it right now. But when you're getting started, just stick to the essentials. All right? If you have some other suggestions, let us know in the comments below of things that you can't live without inside your Google Ads agency, or any other questions that you might have of what about this? We'd love to hear from you below. So if you are interested in true Google Ads setup and optimization training, and also training on how to start your own Google Ads agency, in the description below there will be a link. Check us out at ppcvideotraining.com. Now, if you like videos like this, over on the right hand side you'll see another video with 7 tips on how to start your very own Google Ads agency. Thanks so much for stopping by. See you next time.